Hello, I'm Chris Williams from Read Comics, They're Bad For You. Or if you're watching this on my BitChute channel, Comic Freak. Today we're going to be talking about how Men in Black International failed and what events and people are responsible for its failure. This is not a review of Men in Black International, so do not come here if you're wanting a review. We're just going to be talking about how this movie failed so badly that it's basically a joke. A good thing that seems to be just part of this summer of 2019, how all of these movies with so much SJW propaganda in them have failed so completely and wholly that it is now basically a running joke on which movie is going to premiere and fail next. I mean, we have movies like Avengers Endgame, which broke all records, but then we have something like Men in Black International that has been so immensely bad. And the failure behind it is also completely amazing as well. How much arrogance, as well as all of these people trying to blame others or divert attention and blame from themselves. It's not working, though, because it's amazing how many people have learned the intricacies of this movie, at least in my opinion, that if you look at it right, all these little things that have happened during the making of this movie, from the development all the way up to the writing, have led to this basically debacle of a completely destroyed franchise. We'll start off with, of course, with one of the first problems that arose during the making of Men in Black International. Mainly executive producer David Barberie being let go from Sony Pictures. When you see executives and producers being taken off of a movie, you know the production is troubled. Other problems have arisen with another executive at Sony, one Tom Rothman. If you know who he is, then you know he's the man who was responsible for sewing Deadpool's lips shut back in Wolverine 2009, as well as being partially responsible for Fan Four Stick, otherwise Fantastic Four 2015. He's responsible, I've heard, for some of the problems that came about from that production. And you can see where the problems have begun with this movie. He obviously has been known as, once he gets an idea to deny something in his head, it is nearly impossible to get him to change his mind, which means he keeps going down on a bad path, bringing everyone down along with him. Furthermore, which is quite funny, he's become an executive producer at Sony Pictures, basically heading up all of the pictures. He was promoted upwards from TriStar, and basically, because of his leadership, the morale at his company has become at an all-time low, meaning that no one is happy working for him, and it's a really bad place to work, and meaning that most likely any movie coming out of Sony will be just plainly bad. Even though this script was made by one Art Malcolm and Matt Holloway, with producers and directors like these, it's no wonder this movie has failed so badly. Other news about this is that there has been a lot of talk that one of the reasons why American theaters are having an all-time low audience buying tickets and coming to the theaters this summer is because they want to stay home and watch movies from streaming or rent movies from the Redbox, as well as talk about how the studios are basically catering to foreign markets like China. How a lot of movies are trying to get into China to make that sweet Chinese money that all those consumers out in that communist country are willing to fork over to the theater chains as well as the studios over here. And that might be a reason why a lot of people are not going to see the theaters this summer, because they don't really feel any movies there for them. Also, it's because they've continued to make nothing but sequels and reboots over the last few years. And people are just basically like the characters in the Men in Black International movie here in a desert with a dearth of good things and movies to watch. I mean, TV is apparently still doing pretty well, so it's no wonder they're staying home and watching that instead of going out and seeing a movie at the theater. But if you go with that thinking, then how do you explain movies like Avengers Endgame? It's obvious because of all the goodwill the MCU has been able to gain over the years for all their good movies. And even though Disney is trying to start cucking them by bringing in more SJW content, it didn't affect Avengers Endgame that badly because, for the most part, they kept Captain Marvel out of that movie. But they are trying, like the rest of Hollywood, trying to both appeal to the SJWs as well as trying to appeal to foreign markets. And no doubt that is having an effect on their own sales as well as trying to get moviegoers to go to see their movies. It doesn't help that Tessa Thompson is an SJW and she had the audacity, like the main actor from X-Men Dark Phoenix, saying that Men in Black should be something like People in Black. And we can see the bad blood being generated towards her from the fans of Men in Black because they don't want to give up that name. It's such an iconic and great name that has many years of good movies behind it, just so she can just win a few points in the SJW culture war. And it's just like this picture here. No one is going to see Men in Black International. You're just going to have theaters of empty seats, much like this picture here. Now, I don't know the story behind this picture, but it illustrates why no one is going to Men in Black. Apparently, they didn't really care enough about it to try and do the proper respect to the logo as well, because International is kind of covered over with that blue tarp there, huh? It also doesn't help that it also reminds me of a toilet, much like this movie deserves to be put in a toilet. Or at least Tessa Thompson should be in a toilet, and maybe she should stay there and not have her keep going on about this endless charade that she probably doesn't even really care about. Now, Chris Hemsworth, I don't really know anything about him. I haven't seen this movie. But from what I've seen in other movies about him, movies like Thor Ragnarok, he's a good actor. It probably doesn't help his career to keep being placed in movies with Tessa Thompson because she keeps making all these bad decisions that reflect badly on the movie. In Thor Ragnarok, they mentioned that she was bisexual or something, or gay, and people were basically angry about that because it looked like more like they were just trying to score more social brownie points, and it was just plainly bad that we needed all this talk for a movie. So it's no wonder that people like Tessa Thompson, with them trying to push their politics, as well as the directors and producers behind the scenes screwing up their production of Men in Black, it's no wonder this movie has failed. Now, if you like this video, subscribe. Make sure you're still subscribed. If you're watching my videos but you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to me. I want you to hit that bell and see all my upcoming videos. And if you're watching this on BitChute, on my BitChute channel, Comic Freak, thank you for watching my videos and subscribe as well. Also, I want you to hit that like button as well as leave some comments down below. Keep coming back for future videos to get more information on my own future upcoming independent comic book, Scumdogs. Trust me, it'll be far better than at least Men in Black International. I'll at least do a good comic book that you can like and love and enjoy. I'll be back again tomorrow with another review or video. I'll see you all then.